This is very good indeed. Do I detect a hint of mustard in there? I'll ask cook. She'll be delighted that you approve. Caroline passed the 2 piles of correspondence over to Mrs. Frogerton. Your business and personal correspondence are on the left, and the invitations on the right. Mrs. Frogerton gave a theatrical groan. Perhaps you could consult with Dorothy as to the invitations. I must confess that I am eager to return home and never attend another society ball in my life. You don't mean that, ma'am. You are a much-liked guest. Only for my money. Don't forget that. And for yourself. Many people find you refreshing. As in loud-mouthed and too honest. An original, Caroline said firmly, and took the pile of invitations back. I will speak to Dorothy when she comes down. She has developed decided preferences as to which event she wishes to attend, which makes my job much easier. When Dorothy had first entered society, Caroline had guided her as to which balls would be advantageous to attend in her quest to marry into the peerage. As Dorothy had recently secured the attentions of a viscount, she no longer needed to be seen at all the events, and, much to her mother's relief, had scaled down her social activities considerably. I'm looking forward to a much quieter month, Mrs. Frogerton said as she sipped her coffee. Between old Dorothy's goings-on and that business with Madame Lavinia, I'm quite done in. I agree, ma'am. Caroline turned her attention to the second letter she had received in the post. It was from a very respectable address near Gray's Inn. She opened the letter and read the contents. Dear Lady Caroline, regarding the will of your late father, the Earl of Morton, please reply to this missive and let me know when it will be convenient for me to call on you. Yours sincerely, Mr. Jeremy Smith. Smith, Potkins and Jones, Solicitors. Caroline repressed a sigh. Don't tell me you have more bad news, lass, Mrs. Frogerton asked. It's not bad news, ma'am, but it is rather tiresome. My father's solicitors wish to speak to me about his will, and I cannot imagine why. She paused. Unless they have discovered more of his debts and expect me to pay them off. I don't think that would be legal, Mrs. Frogerton said. It is one of the rare instances when being female protects you from a gentleman's mistakes. From his gentlemanly debts of honour, Caroline murmured. I can't even imagine how much money he let flow through his fingers gambling and speculating. Enough to bankrupt his own estate and steal his children's inheritance without shame. Mrs. Frogerton rarely minced words, and her disdain for what Caroline's father had done to his fortune and his family had no bounds.